All right, so we're back at Policía Nacional Civil in San Salvador because there's something else that I have to do. I came here because it's required to have digital fingerprinting done here on the Salvadoran side of things, but for the RCMP, they also require in Canada for me to do a special high-level security check with fingerprints. But because I'm outside of the country, I have to get physical paper fingerprints done. So I have to come here, get them to do the paper fingerprints, and then take those and send them to a Canadian company that will convert them to digital. And it's a requirement from the RCMP to do this. So we're back. So it's closed because it's Semana Santa. The police service is open, but the office is closed. We're gonna have to come back next week. But we're right next to the main Policía Nacional Civil Center. It's like the headquarters in San Salvador, and you can hear this music playing really loudly out of the building. Listen.
I had a feeling it was closed, but I didn't want to say anything because then she would say that you just don't want to go.
I could not get through to anyone. I couldn't find the hours online. It just said always open when I looked it up online. No one answered anywhere, so I said let's just go for it and try.
Always open, I mean, the cops, they're always open, but not necessarily the service of digital, you know, the prints.
So I'll have to come back.
I've got a path laid in front of me. I will follow it down to wherever it leads. A lingering voice has been calling to me to come home. I'm coming home.
Salvador del Mundo. There's the monument. I want to stop and get a better look. Just driving by. Not the same. You gotta stop and go and look at it. It's a monument, right?
Yes, it is. It is the top monument in our country. It is the most, the best, like, I don't know, it's Jesus, right, on top of the world. So it's our most precious monument. That's the word. Our most precious monument in the Salvador. Yeah, most precious monument.
I love that concept of Jesus on top of the world. Jesus being, you know, what we all strive to be. He represents what every human being should be. And so it's wonderful because that's the ideals. That's the Salvadoran ideals. That's a major part of the culture here is that you give, you have grace and humility, and you give always primero Dios, the glory to God. So that's why it's such a big monument here. Yeah. Because it represents the core values of the people. I love it. So she said, so we actually can't serve you until 1 o'clock after our lunch break, right? And that's like another 45 minutes. They do not work during their lunch break here in El Salvador. When lunch comes, everyone stops work and goes out and enjoys lunch. So she said, you know, at 1 o'clock, our lunch break is over, and that's when we'll do that for you. And I said, my husband's gonna sit in this hot parking lot in the hot sun for at least an hour, right? 45 minutes to wait, and then who knows how long it'll take to do this. So I said, no, I can't do that to him. We'll come back in 45 minutes. So okay, I'm at Policía Nacional Civil in Nuevo Cuscatlán to do my fingerprints here, and It's very tight security. They wouldn't let Will come in with me. They said that he had to wait for me, and only the person who has the business to conduct here can go in. So hopefully my Spanish is good enough to do what I need to do. Wish me luck. Okay, it's finally done. The fingerprints are done. It was kind of tricky getting them done right. I needed his help with the making sure that they were done correctly. Had to do all prints plus the hands. And it was kind of touch and go there for a while because we weren't sure if they were going to be good enough. But luckily I had brought 2 separate sheets so that if something went wrong with the first one, I'd have a second one. And it turned out that it did. And we did need the second one, but between the 2, I think we should be good. Whew. And that was the last big thing that I need to do. And now I need to mail it off to Canada. Shipping costs, more money, more time. So we'll see how long this takes. I'll update you guys. Okay, so we've got our translated partida de matrimonio. We've got our translated marriage certificate, and now we're at the Alcaldía Municipal de Zaragoza to register our marriage. Something that we have to do for my residency application.
Yeah.
This is a funky place to walk through. I've never bothered to venture onto any of the side streets, and there's like this whole bustling community with all kinds of amazing places and stores and people everywhere that you can't see from the main strip. And we just discovered it. I'm like blown away. This place is amazing. So much to discover that I didn't even realize was here. Aww. Buenas.
¿El inmueble? ¿De dónde es el inmueble? No. ¿A dónde la van a registrar? Aquí en la partida, ¿no? ¿Pero es un terreno? ¿Propiedad? No, a ella como mi esposa. Entonces en registro familiar. Registro familiar.
Sí, familiar.
Registro familiar. Sí, ¿cómo no? Sí, ¿cómo no?
Ya.
Sí.
Gracias. Gracias. Mucho gusto.
Necesito, estamos en el proceso de ella que aplique para su residencia y nos dijeron que tenemos que venir a la alcaldía con nuestra partida de matrimonio y trasladada en español, ¿verdad? Entonces ya la tenemos.
Hemos casado en Canadá, por eso.
Ahí está, aquí nomás ahí.
Buenas.
Buenas. Necesito registrarla a ella como mi esposa.
Bueno, ¿está bien?
¿Cómo se llama el testimonio? Que esa es la partida de matrimonio.
Eso es the translated. ¿Y el original también si necesita?
El original está en inglés.
Es de Canadá. Tiene que ir al Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores.
Nosotros venimos de inmigración y nos dijeron que aquí a la alcaldía teníamos que venir a hacer este trámite de registrar a ella como mi esposa. Es lo que me dijeron la inmigración.
Sí, el proceso sigue así. Ese es un documento original pero de Canadá. Entonces el Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores lo certifica y lo manda a la alcaldía de San Salvador, porque todos los matrimonios de efectos legales que surgen fuera del extranjero se inscriben en San Salvador. En la alcaldía de San Salvador. Pero la diligencia la tiene que hacer en el Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores.
¿Y dónde está eso?
Ahí en el hipermolo Pasada, en el segundo nivel.
So we have to go back to again to the office that they sent us over here.
Why?
Because that's what they have to get this done over there.
Why did they tell us to come here?
Because they don't know what they're doing. Bueno, de regreso vamos a hablar porque de allá venimos y me dijeron que veníamos por acá.
No, este es el Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores que tiene que ver. Y ellos mismos lo van a realizar en la alcaldía de San Salvador. Todos los datos realizados en el exterior son en la alcaldía de San Salvador. ¿Y lo va a presentar? Si usted, alguno de los dos es originario de acá de Zaragoza, luego que saque la partida de matrimonio en San Salvador, lo traen para certificarles la marginación de que ha estado civil, casado. Pero si alguno de los dos es originario de Zaragoza.
Yo no soy originario de Zaragoza, yo soy de Santana.
Ah, pues sí, allá en Santana la tiene que llevar. Cuando
Santana.
ya se inscriba en San Salvador, que es un lapso de 15 días. Después de ir al Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores.
Ok, gracias.
Gracias. Okay, so that was frustrating because we were told when we went to the place in San Salvador that we had to come here. Not in San Salvador, sorry. It was in the multi-plaza, so it wasn't that far. But that we had to come here. And then what did they say?
So they said that we have to go back to the Cascadas, al Ministerio de Relaciones del Exterior, and then we have to go there, and then we have to present it there, and then they have to all the weddings, all the paperwork that is being in the exterior has to be handled by the Ministry of Exterior, and then we would have to go to an alcaldía where I am from, not from here because I am not from Zaragoza. We gotta go to Santana.
So you told her that we live here, and that's not okay. It has to be where you were born. What if you weren't born here? Then what?
I have no clue. I don't know.
Okay, so we're not sure exactly what we need to do, but it sounds like there's more steps and more red tape than initially was communicated to us when we first went to the Migración y Extranjería to do the application. It sounds like there's a lot more involved. And I think Will's probably feeling a little bit frustrated and confused about exactly what that is that's involved, because it's not outlined in the application. It wasn't made clear to us at Migración y Extranjería. It hasn't been made clear to us at our municipality where we were supposed to go. So what would be the next step at this point then?
Go to Cascadas, Ministerio de Relaciones Públicas. Not immigration, but there's the Migración del Exterior.
Okay, so somewhere different.
It is remember there's two offices when we passed. There was two offices. One is for immigration, and one it was office right there. And then, I don't know what time is it? I don't know if you have time to go.
Yeah, I have a class at 11, and we are at 9:30 a.m. So we have an hour and a half, which I think is more than enough time. So let's go and try and get it done.
Yeah, they're right. Oh yeah, they're right. Oh yeah, they're right.
try to call somewhere, like, centers run by the government, or like they don't answer the phone. Like, and a lot of times it's like no existe, el número no existe, right? We have claro, I hear that a lot. Or it's just beeping, no one answers, or it hangs up. And emails too don't really get answered. So the administration support,
they're behind. It's a third world country. They're behind. They're behind of the level of service that they provide because it's a third world country, and everybody actually gets used to, from previous governments, to just go do that and go waste your time and wait for hours in lineup and stuff like that. And it's nothing new over here. That's the way it is. But it could be, it is not only it is a third world country, but it's also a country that it was like sort of like abandoned by all the previous governments that have been here, because they have never given a shit about the people, about the service they provide to their people, because all they cared was about, once they get into power, how much money they can steal.
of course.
And every single infrastructure, water sourcing, providing water to their communities, that it was not even being addressed, because all they care about how much money they can steal. And we all Salvadorians know this. And one of the reasons why the country is in the state that it is only in the last 5 years that things have improved a little bit, because there's actually a government that cares and that actually wants to work for its people. Like, it's gonna take a while until things getting better, right? Infrastructure or the level of service and stuff like that it's gonna take a while. Everybody's expecting that you come over here, moving to El Salvador, and it's gonna be everything like paradise and everything like a first world country where communication is instantly like over there, or you can call office, or you can email and you get your answers right away, or not so much of a hard time. It's not over here that we are like decades behind.
Yeah, like they're developing here, but they're not nearly, like there's so far to go. But you also have the situation of perpetual war that has kind of stunted the development as well, because you have a lot of you've got a nice growing middle class here, a lot of really smart people who are very capable, but when you're first in a civil war and then you're in a war against banderos, that's preventing the flourishing of the society. So now I think we're going to start to see some real progress here. I imagine in the next few years we're going to see progress. Yeah. So right now we can't make phone calls and get emails and expect to get anywhere. It's like pulling teeth. So you got to drive there and you got to talk to someone. That's how we found is the only way to accomplish things, going through the government centers. So yeah, we're just gonna drive there because we know better than to try and call. Hi everyone. Okay, so we're back from going for our trip to try to register our marriage.
Well, first of all, we were at immigration. They told us that we have some documents to do. We have some running around to do. So we went. First of all, we had to go to the alcaldía, supposedly, to register our marriage. But supposedly had to be translated from English to Spanish. Supposedly, right? And then what I'm trying to do is we went to alcaldía. Okay, we just said, okay, we're going to go to the alcaldía of Zaragoza. So we went to alcaldía of Zaragoza. We went there and said, oh yeah, no, you have to be registered at the foreign affairs or something like that. Servicio del Exterior. And then it goes, once you do that, I mean, you have to go to Alcaldía from where you're from. It's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to go to Alcaldía from Santana because I'm not from these areas. Anyway, so went to the Ministerio del Exterior, and then we went there, and then said, well, you need birth certificates, and you need your obviously your documentation, right? A passport and DUI for me. But the birth certificates, they have to be on
Within
a year. And she said within a year.
Issue date within a year.
Yeah. So and then we made a big fuss about it. It's like birth certificates don't change. I mean, they are the same,
right?
No matter what.
Yeah. Not only that, but not only do I have to go and apply for one, pay for it, and wait for it to get processed and mailed to someone in Canada, but then have them mail it to me here because I need the physical document. That's a huge hurdle.
But then we run into another problem because they are, according to the Salvadorian law, she's single still. So we're not married according to the Salvadorian law, even though we are married in Canada. They don't see it that way. So then the other problem that we run into is that all her documents are already with her legal name as taking my name. She's Martinez. She no longer carries her maiden name.
I don't have my maiden name.
Maiden name in any of her legal documents.
Which is what most Canadian women
right.
do.
Yeah, but now we need a document with her maiden name, which is ridiculous.
To verify who I was before I married him, to verify so that's a problem because the only document that exists is my birth certificate. Everything else is changed to my legal name in Canada, which is Sarah Martinez. And they want my passport to say it. They want my driver's license to say it. And so there's this disconnect because it's like, that is my legal name. No, that's your husband's name. That's my legal name. On everything. Yeah. So it's a big problem.
So they're just making it extremely difficult for the partners of Salvadorians and their kids, which is frustrating because it should be automatically, like as soon as you marry and as soon as you come into the country, it should be automatically where your partner and your kids get permanent resident right away. I mean, my kids are Salvadorians as well, but they're not unless you registered.
Yeah,
them.
like if I get deported, they can get deported. They're not registered, and I don't know if we're going to need to get these birth certificates that are issued within a year, because that means we'll have to go through the whole process with them. Did they say something about you as well needing to have a more recent issued birth certificate?
Yeah.
For this process?
Yeah.
3 months, within 3 months.
Well, the Ministerio del Exterior, it says within a year, it's fine. But if you go to Alcaldía, then it is within 3 months. They require within 3 months. And if you go, which it looks like we're going to have to go to the Alcaldía of San Salvador, the central Alcaldía of San Salvador, because they can actually do the paperwork required as somebody swearing in that she said that she's who she is, and not requiring that any legal documents, not requiring any documents that will have her maiden name, because it doesn't exist. The only thing that exists with that, it is her birth certificate, and that's it.
I actually have to go through a lot of hoops though. I have to get digital fingerprints from Canada, from El Salvador. I have to do physical fingerprints, submit them to get verified, get them digitized in Canada, have them sent back over. I had my digital fingerprints done at Policía Nacional Civil. We had to go to San Salvador to do that. Jumping through a lot of hoops here. And then getting the marriage registration. But these things all take time, and that's probably the biggest factor, is just the amount of time and effort required to complete all these things once you're here. If we had registered our marriage and our children's births and stuff before we came, and we knew everything that needed to get done, we did it beforehand, I would not be nearly as stressed as I am right
This
now.
is the suggestion that we have for any of you guys that are going to go through all this. In your country, if you can register the marriage in the Salvadorian consulate, like we had the chance to do
had
it,
the chance,
but
we
we took it for granted that it was going to be a simple process of going to one place and getting done, and that was it. No, don't wait
It's
to
not
get to
simple.
El Salvador. Do it in your country, in the consulate. It will be a lot easier to do it over there. You're gonna go to the consulate, and they'll get it done through there, and that will be it. Over here, you're gonna be jumping through hoops, and you're gonna be going from one place to another, waiting and doing that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just
Yeah.
get it done. Get it.
Don't
get
make
it
the
done.
same mistake we did.
Yeah.